Hey everyone! Thank you so much for tuning in to Tried and Tested. For those of you who don't know, this is a relationship and dating podcast where we discuss questions that millennials may have while dating, different scenarios and different stories and issues that we've been through. So I am your host Tracy, and today I have with me two special guests, my friend Peanut
Hey.
and my friend Cameron.
Hey.
So, if you guys listen to my podcast, you may or may not have heard them already. So today, our topic actually stems from a text message I got from one of our viewers about what I said about a first date. So the comment I made was that a first date to me is not something that is cheap or free, and it's definitely not Starbucks. And so, the young man went on to let me know about how first dates don't have to be expensive and how he disagrees with me and so on and so forth. So we definitely had like a little dialogue going on, and I just kind of wanted to weigh in on the situation. So with you, Cameron, what do you think is a first date? Like, what is acceptable for a first date?
First of all, I like to say that my friend Tracy might be a little high maintenance.
A little.
When it comes to
He don't know what he's talking about, okay?
Because my first date and my current situation, my current relationship, we was at Waffle House. And it wasn't even like it was planned or anything. It was just a link up. Like, I was like, she was in the area. She hit my phone, asked me if I was free. I was like, yo, let's go to Waffle House because it was right next to my house. And we literally sat at Waffle House for like 2 hours just talking, and we did that. At the time I wasn't driving, so she took me back home. I walked to Waffle House. She took me back
Hold
home.
on.
And then,
Wait, can we just hold on for a second? So first and foremost, that is not a date if you just meet up with each other. That's not like something that was well planned or organized. And if you're over a certain age and he doesn't drive, that's just something you need to think about.
No, I drive. I just have a car.
That's even worse. I mean, it's even better. Okay, so continue with what you're saying.
No, but I'm saying like that's what a date is. A date is a time, an opportunity for you to kind of sit and get to know somebody in a natural environment that feels comfortable to you, so we can really just kind of vibe.
That's not a date. That's a meetup.
No, that's a date.
That's a gathering.
If it's with someone that's new, that's a potential partner, like a potential intimate partner, that's a date.
So is that how you treat an intimate partner? Like you kind of meet up with them at the Waffle House?
Okay.
I mean, but that's the initial stage.
Exactly, but it's not a first date. It can be a meeting, but you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, there's the actual first date where it's an official date. We're gonna go out, and then there's hanging out and kind of, running into each other.
Okay, so what if they're like, oh, Tracy, let's link up at Ruth Chris. It's close to my house. I'll come pick you up.
But that's a date.
How is it when you just he just said the same thing?
What's
It's
the
just
difference?
because
the Waffle House with the
exactly.
Like, what's your first difference?
Well, obviously I like Ruth Chris, so before we even get into this any further, so I wanna the text message that the young man sent me, he explained a situation where his friend he went on a first date with a girl, he spent $200 and they never hung out with each other again, and that was his reasoning for saying that a first date should not be too extravagant because you don't really know each other, and I kind of agree, but at the same time, you can go to somewhere like Top's Diner or Cheesecake Factory where it's not expensive, but it's like you put forth the effort. Cameron, I'm not including drinks. I don't drink. So for me, I'm a cheap date. I'm not high maintenance like what he was saying. But it's kind of just like, so basically I feel like, why are you looking? Okay, Peanut, so tell us what you think.
I feel like, okay, this is a hard thing just because I feel like I wouldn't even want my first date to be over food the first thing. Like, I want it to be an activity. Take me bowling. Take me, like, to an event or something where we have something to talk about. Because imagine going on a date. I don't care where you at. Waffle House, Burger King, Morton's. I mean,
Burger King is not a date.
Go ahead. You can be at Noble for all I care, but I'm just saying, imagine that dead silence at that table. Like, you have nothing in common. You can't talk about anything, and you just stop there eating. Like, how boring is that?
Well, because you're getting to know someone. Obviously, you guys don't have communication skills, but basically, when you go out, like, okay, like, so what do you do for fun? Like, you're trying to get to know them, because how are you going to plan an event when you don't know who the person is? You want to find out what do you
talking, like
But yeah.
conversating. So I'd be like, okay, Tracey, hey, do you want to go like out Saturday? Okay, you say yes. And
I
I'm
want to
like,
eat first.
you want to eat first.
Yes.
And you expect them to take you to, okay, fine. You said Cheesecake Factory.
That's not expensive.
That
is
isn't
it?
expensive.
It's
so I
not.
mean, that's
First
fine.
of all, expensive is relative.
If you drink like a fish, no. If you drink a lot, then yes.
It don't matter, son. Like if $50 for it also depends on where you are in your life. $50 for
That's
a date.
a whole
If you-
different
that's a-
topic.
No, if you can wait.
That's a whole. That's
If you
a whole
can't
cell phone
afford,
bill.
it's like,
I'm
if
just
you
saying.
can't
if you can't
afford
afford
certain things,
yeah,
then
then
you
you
don't need
shouldn't
to be
go.
going.
You shouldn't go on a date if you can't afford it, and that's not a problem.
Yeah.
But just know that you're working, with what you have. I don't know if you guys heard the podcast with Lisa, but she talked about she went on a date and the guy told her like, I only have $75. You're not getting an appetizer. You're not ordering any drinks. You can order from this side of the menu, and that's it.
Okay, but nope. I wouldn't have went on a date. And it's not because of how much money he had or didn't have, but the fact that he's telling me what I can and cannot order. First of all, I'll pay for my own food. So do not tell me I can't order an appetizer.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, I don't pay for my own food on a date, so.
You don't?
No.
I feel like that's
well,
rude.
I forgot because the very first podcast I paid for my food and his food, but obviously it wasn't on purpose. But yeah, so I take that back. Okay.
Okay, so I think that Starbucks isn't a date. I do think that's more of like a meetup, so I wouldn't consider it a traditional first date.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want someone to spend $200 on me on a first date. Like, I just
No.
feel like that's ridiculous.
I just feel like it's a little one-sided because I'm the person that's like, from this perspective that I think we're coming from.
Yeah.
I represent the person who would be spending the money. Like,
Okay.
And on with that, like, I mean, just off rip, like I know of, and this is like I seen like a show about this, or like somebody got caught up with this. A shorty, like, she was going on like online dating sites for dinner dates.
Isn't that what it's for?
What?
Okay. Like, because she knew that, like, I'm gonna link with this boo, we gonna link up and we gonna go somewhere, I'm gonna eat, I'm not interested in this person,
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
but
okay.
he gonna pay for my meal and
Yeah.
whatever the case may be.
See,
and so, like,
That's
again,
messed up.
like,
No,
I
it's
understand.
not messed up.
Yes, it is.
Let me let you finish first.
I want to hear what not messed up. Like,
See, but then that creates issues between men and women where men are now like, nah, because you know what, she probably just using me to get free food, or she want to go to this restaurant just because that's the it place, or she want to take a picture of her plate.
Yeah.
Like, no. So I totally understand that. But what if the roles were reversed? Like, would women feel the same way of like, oh, I need to like plan this date out and take him this place if they were the ones initiating the relationship, the interaction?
so I can tell you that the amount of dates that I've been taken on
Uh-huh.
are far few.
No, that's on camera though. I feel like that's on you.
Word how?
I feel like you're the kind of person who likes to take care of your woman,
Fact,
right?
I do like to take care
Yeah,
of women.
so
That's true. That's a
Okay.
true statement. But when I'm dating,
yeah.
I'm a little selfish, in the sense that, like, my time is my time, my money is my money, my
Yeah.
energy is my energy. So therefore, if I'm choosing to share it with you, and we're not building together yet, like, we still at the phase where we try to fill each other out, I need to feel appreciated. And if I'm in a situation to where I'm dating someone and I'm not feeling that there's a certain level of reciprocation,
Yes.
then it's not going to move forward. But and a lot of times in dating, the expectation is for the dude to always put out. If I'm always putting out, and on top of that, if I'm always putting out and I'm still trying to figure and I'm exploring my options,
Mm-hmm.
let's just
You won't
say
be broke.
Let's say I make an entry level salary, $45,000 a year. I live in Newark, New Jersey. My rent is $1,200, $1,500.
Uh-huh.
Like, what am I really doing? Like, this is a whole nother, like, that lifestyle of dating to keep up is a whole nother beast.
Yeah.
Wait, so let me tell you why I'm laughing though, because I was gonna say to you, like, when you I was gonna say, if it costs that much when you go on a date, don't eat. But the funny part about it is I've been on like 3 dates and the guys
They didn't eat?
That's a fact.
No.
Yo, you laughing.
No.
You laughing, but
That's
I'm
not
not
funny.
Yo.
Yo, it's real. That's
No,
real
I've been out.
life.
Yes, I've been out.
sad.
And, no, but they're like, oh, I'm not hungry.
I'm not hungry. Or
No.
yo, I'm gonna just have some. I'm
Yeah.
gonna just eat this appetizer. Have some. Yo,
Well, I don't eat American food. Like if I've had some African guys tell me like I don't eat American food, but I've
Okay.
actually been out and I've ordered my food and like they're not getting anything.
I've
Yeah,
been
but
on the
they
date
don't
where
eat
I've ordered
American
an appetizer.
food.
No, they lying.
Okay,
They
okay.
lying. Okay.
I've been on the date.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna hold you. I've been on the date. I ordered an appetizer and a water, and I let Shorty order whatever that she wanted to order,
Mhm.
and I was just helping her, just calculating, just hoping, just like this. Please.
Don't order another drink.
So
Order one more drink.
Don't order that dessert.
So the money doesn't go over.
Like, I feel like that's sad. Like, if I'm sitting across from the table and I see you, I'll be like, okay, nah. Like, that's messed
But
up.
and that's why you married.
No, a lot of, it can't be that many women out there that be like, oh, well, whatever, I'm eating.
Well,
He good.
No, okay. So I have a
Okay.
friend. And I can't remember the name of the restaurant, but I know that she met a guy. He liked her, and she wanted to go on a date with him. And so I think like the restaurant that she chose, she sent it to him, and it was probably like maybe like 4.5 or 6 star, like I don't know, some type of upscale restaurant in New York. And so I guess when he saw the restaurant, he wasn't beat. And then so, you know Cuban Pizza in Montclair, right? Cuban
Yeah.
Pizza has great food. I don't know if you've been there before.
Mm-mm.
Okay, it has great Cuban food. You know, it's, yeah. And she was like, well, I don't want to go to no Cuban Pizza for my first date. And I'm like, okay, but you want to go to a 5-star restaurant with someone you don't know. You don't know what kind of money he got. Like, so I feel like there is a limit to what you choose and what you don't choose on a first date. But
That's my thing about the first date. What's the intention of the first date?
Well, to be honest, I feel
Because
like
if I take you to Nobu for
Yeah.
a first date,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that there's an expectation. I'm just saying.
so you're expecting to fornicate.
I'm not saying that.
He's expecting to
I'm not
fornicate
saying that
if
there's
he
a
takes you. So
You know what I'm saying? Like, but like, if we go into Nobu, like that's
It's an investment
that's
and
an
you want to
investment.
return.
I want to return on my investment.
so here is.
If we go to Cuban Pete's, like like we could have a good time. Like I'm not thinking about it.
I mean,
Okay.
I guess.
I just feel like going into any date, man or woman, whoever's paying for the date, go to some place that you know that if that person can't pay, you got the bill. Cause if you can't afford it on your own, don't expect somebody else to be able to afford it and pay for you. That's messed up.
And that's why she's married.
No,
That mentality is
what if
not
you
right.
no? What if you can afford it, just not that day? Like maybe the direct deposit.
That's not how finances work, Tracy. If you can't afford it today,
It's Tuesday. Today is Tuesday.
You gotta wait till direct deposit hit the account.
and that means you can't afford. If you gotta wait for the payment, if you gotta wait for the direct deposit to hit, that means you can't afford it.
Yes.
I guess, but here's my thing. So I feel like typically, right, in my opinion, when a man asks a woman out on a date, he likes the way that she looks, and he probably wants to take her to bed, right? So that is his intention at some point to sleep with her. So what's wrong with it if a woman wants to eat food? Like I'm using you for this, and like I'm spending your money because I want to eat at a nice restaurant, and you're taking me out because you like the way I look.
But what if you like me?
What do you mean?
But if as a woman,
Yeah.
What if you like me?
I can still like you and we can go out to eat. Like, I don't understand what the issue is.
But that's my point. Like my thing is like this. You're in that scenario.
Yes.
That scenario is putting all of the onus on the man to make the decision that he's pursuing the woman.
Mm-hmm.
However, if I'm only pursuing you and you're not interested in me,
Yeah.
that's an empty pursuit.
But you wouldn't know that until after you finish the meal.
So why do I have to make such a significant investment?
But I didn't say no. I'm agreeing with my friend when the message he sent me earlier about the $200. That's a bit extreme because I feel like you don't have to be.
But you don't know what significant is for me because it's not just about money.
Yeah.
It's also about time.
That's true.
What about time?
Why am I investing
Time is money.
Why am I investing my time in you and you're not interested in me?
First of all, why are you yelling?
I'm just speaking.
Passionate about this.
I'm just speaking clearly
has
so the
passion.
microphone can pick me up.
Oh, got
That's
you.
what I
Got
mean.
you.
I'm speaking
Okay.
clearly so the mic.
Yes.
But why am I investing my time in you if you're not interested in me? Because that's another thing that I think that sometimes women can tend to forget
Yeah.
about when they're choosing their date.
Okay.
A date can be 2 hours to 4 hours long.
Yeah.
If I'm a businessman, I'm an entrepreneur, that's 4 hours away from my business. If I have children, that's 4 hours away from my kids.
Mm-hmm.
If I got a family and that's important to me, that's 4 hours away from my family.
Well, if you got a family, you shouldn't be out on a date.
Family
right?
doesn't necessarily mean children.
Oh, okay.
But it could be me. I could be with my mother. I could be with my grandmother who may be sick. I could be with my uncle. I could be with whoever it is that I need to spend. My brother might be about to he about to go away for a little bit. I need to spend time with these people who are important to me. And because I'm dating and I'm thinking about my future and thinking about spending time with somebody, I'm spending this time with you. And all you want is a meal at a nice restaurant.
But then what if you what if you guys hit it off? No, I feel like because we all have some type of like in your mind, you always have a thought about what you want or what you're looking for, right? But that can change over the course of a date. You could be like, oh, you know what, I'm not looking for nothing. But when you actually sit down with her, you might be like, you know what, she's kind of fly. She's kind of dope. Like, I like her. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I feel like we always have, like, a perspective that we're looking at things from. And then when we actually get to know the person or talk to them, it kind of changes. So, yes, after a date, I may like you or I may not like you. But either way, I was still hungry.
And that's the fact.
Like, yeah.
It's not my obligation to sustain you. You know what I mean?
But it's like you're not obligated. Nobody forced you to go on a date.
No one forced
you get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like
I think it's the intention going into the date. Like if you already know off bat that you're not interested in this guy, but you still want to go on a date because you want food, you want something.
If
to
you
do
can
that
think
night,
in the back of your mind, it's like, oh, if you like he cute, he seemed cool, and it's a free meal. If you throw that and it's a free meal in it, then you ended it for the wrong reasons. And a lot of times, when you're dating, sometimes, in my experience, I can't speak for everybody's experience, but women throw that, oh, and it's a free meal in this. When I lived in Georgia, mind you, I lived in Georgia, I had a good time in Georgia. The ratio, you already know what the numbers look like.
Yeah, for the gay man, straight man.
So, but
we got it.
There was a girl that I was interested in, and she said like, oh, he's gonna take me out to the aquarium. Now,
the aquarium? Cool. Is she 10?
No, the aquarium. They have a restaurant in there.
Oh.
It's a nice.
But even still, the aquarium. What's wrong with that?
Yeah. It's like $100 a plate for the food there. Like
Atlanta, isn't Georgia's aquarium pretty big?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But she was like, I'm gonna take you. He's gonna take me to the aquarium. And when I heard her say that, and I found like that was her intention, I was like, oh no. This ain't the one for me. I work at Forever 21. We make the same amount of money. You know I make $7.25. You think that I'm going to use my $7.25 an hour
to take you to the aquarium?
To take you to the aquarium? That's a day and a half of work.
It is. No,
just for you. I didn't even order nothing yet.
Can you imagine?
You be ordering an appetizer, some water.
But that's know what your mentality is. Like, you think I'm supposed to put myself out in a way that doesn't make sense for us? Because the thing is, I'm looking for a partner. We need to grow together.
But you looking for in a partner?
True.
No,
okay, but I mean, my thing is, were you thinking that? Were you like, yo, she
back
might
in
be
the day?
one?
No.
Let me no.
That's
my thing. Is like the intentions of both of you coming together.
Exactly.
Like I feel like it shouldn't be it's a meal. I'm hungry, and it shouldn't be like, oh, I'm
about to take advantage.
Yes. So I don't know. I don't think you should get the intention of. You should go in with like, okay, this has to be something. Like, go on a date, have fun, don't think too much about it, but then also don't spend too much money, but then, be open and honest with the person.
The best dates happen when there's no pressure.
Yes, I totally agree with you.
Yeah, guys. So, well, I mean, this was definitely like a heated discussion, and it definitely shows some insight about first dates and how women view them, how obviously one of the listeners viewed it, and how Cameron and Peanut view it. So I just want to thank you guys so much for your time. And do you guys have any last words to say before we end this episode?
No.
I'm just saying, if you out here in these streets and you're dating, just be open to what a date looks like. Because it's not about where you go. It's not about how much money you spend. It's about actually taking the time to get to know the person across from you.
Absolutely.
That's
it. What he said.
All right, guys.
Ashley rolls her eyes.
Well, thank you so much for you guys that are listening. And until next time, adios. Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to Tried and Tested. For those of you who don't know, this is a relationship and dating podcast where we discuss questions that millennials may have while dating, different scenarios and different stories and issues that we've been through. So I am your host Tracy, and today I have with me two special guests, my friend Peanut
Hey.
and my friend Cameron.
Hey.
So, if you guys listen to my podcast, you may or may not have heard them already. So today, our topic actually stems from a text message I got from one of our viewers about what I said about a first date. So the comment I made was that a first date to me is not something that is cheap or free, and it's definitely not Starbucks. And so, the young man went on to let me know about how first dates don't have to be expensive and how he disagrees with me and so on and so forth. So we definitely had like a little dialogue going on, and I just kind of wanted to weigh in on the situation. So with you, Cameron, what do you think is a first date? Like, what is acceptable for a first date?
First of all, I like to say that my friend Tracy might be a little high maintenance.
A little.